A substantial lead throughout most of this game from the start. What was the biggest difference you saw to you guys here tonight?
Well, I thought the energy, we were aggressive from the start. And for 48 minutes, guys executed offensively and defensively. We shared the ball. We had a little lull there in the fourth. But again, guys understood that we had to get a stop and then go on the offensive end. We shared the ball, so guys stepped up and made plays on both ends.
You start Allen Anderson in place of Sean Livingston tonight. Can you just walk us through your thought process on that and how you felt like that worked out for you?
Well, it was just a feeling with Allen. We've asked him to do everything, and it's nothing that Sean hasn't done for us. It was more of a feeling that the coaching staff, we thought let's give Allen the way that he played in that fourth quarter for us up in Toronto to see if he can carry that over. And he definitely picked up where he was, in Toronto, where again rebounding the ball. We're asking him to guard DeRozan, and he had some great looks that he feels that he can make. So that's why we went with him.
Go Boone and then Bondi.
There's been some heat on Deron the last couple of days here. People have criticized him and just wonder where has he been basically last couple of games. For him to come out and play the way he did tonight, what to say about his performance?
Now, who would dare do that?
It wasn't me.
Oh, you're going to throw the other people up there? It was the others.
Others.
Well, that's why you read it in the bathroom. I'm just kidding. We're professional, and everybody has the right to their opinion, and it just shows what type of player and what he is all about. He stood up to whatever was said, and he responded with one of his best games.
Jason Stephen Bondi from New York Daily News. How about KG? How about KG's game tonight? And it looks like you got a little bit more minutes than what you've been giving him in the playoffs. Can you talk about the decision to keep him out there a little bit longer?
Yeah, he had a whopping 6 more minutes than I normally would. We stretched him out. KG was great. He's always been great for us, and so when you have a guy like that you can lean on, down the stretch when things got a little stagnant, he stepped up, made a big shot, got rebounds, but that's who he is. He's a future Hall of Famer, and he loves this situation, and he responded.
All right.
Tim Bondic of the New York Post. You guys have been waiting to play 48 minutes the whole series. What do you 48-minute complete game? What do you think was the difference that allowed you guys to do that tonight?
Well, I think understanding what we did in Toronto. Ending the game the way we did, feeling that this series has always come down to a couple possessions, and tonight I think we took control of that, carrying over for what we did in the fourth quarter up there. Now we got to find a way to duplicate up there in Toronto.
Jason, Alex Raskin, Wall Street Journal. How big was the rebounding tonight, particularly in the first half for you guys?
Well, we out-rebounded them, so that's probably surprising. But again, we limited them in that first quarter to one shot, and then we got out and ran, and we made plays offensively. But again, Allen, I think he had a career high in rebounds, or he led the team in rebounding. So when you have your shooting guard have 9 rebounds, that means someone's helping. We got to rebound as a team. That's what we did tonight.
In the back and then Schumann.
Jason, Andy Roth, Sports Network. What was the thought process behind sitting Plumlee tonight?
Didn't have enough minutes in the game. It was only 48. So if it was 50 or 55, maybe he would have got to play.
Schumann.
John Schumann, NBA.com. Coach, does Deron's aggressiveness start in the backcourt as far as pushing the ball up the floor, and how important was that as far as just pushing the pace a little bit, trying to get into the offense a little bit earlier?
Well, Deron, in the first couple games, he was attacking, and then that game 5 at the end of the fourth quarter, he was getting the ball in the paint. And so for that, when we feel the ball touches the paint, something good happens, and I think we reminded him, but we reminded the team about, being aggressive. And again, Deron did that, while he was on the floor. He had a lot of great looks. Some of them, didn't go in, but he was aggressive on both ends, defensively and offensively.
In the back, Tara.
Tara Sullivan from The Record. Can you speak to the satisfaction of coaching a moment like that? They showed you on TV, especially on the sideline, when Deron hit the last big shot there, and he kind of pumped your fist and celebrated at his shot. You used to hit shots like that. Can you just speak to kind of the satisfaction of winning it this way as a coach?
It was a long time before I hit a shot like that. You know, we drew it up in the timeout. I guess that's the satisfaction about coaching. If you draw something up and it works, you celebrate. If it doesn't, you just act like you didn't draw it up. You know, we executed the play, and you know, I believe, and everyone in that locker room believes that Deron, Joe, or Paul, whoever's going to, you know, plays for is going to knock down the shot. And Deron came wide open and did what he was supposed to do. He knocked down a big three. And so we trusted one another, and they executed the play.
Bondi with a follow-up.
When Deron went down in that third quarter and went down the floor, he obviously hurt his ankle. What were you thinking at that moment? How about the way he fought through whatever pain he was feeling tonight?
It was probably because of what you guys wrote. You know, I think Deron showed that he's a warrior. He sprains his ankle, comes back, shoots the free throws, and continues. He doesn't want to come out of the game. And I think that just shows leadership and toughness, and that's what he did tonight for us.
In the back. Okay.
Coach, Stephanie Stepp from Harlem Community Radio. Quick question, follow-up to Deron going down at the top of the third. What did you say to him? It looked like you were pushing him back out on the court instead of letting him come over to maybe sit once he actually got up.
Well, the thought process, if he had to come out, I didn't want him to walk all the way over to the bench. I wanted him to shoot the free throws, and we'll make a decision on fouling at that point. So to keep him walking around, and then also to shorten his walk if he's going to, you know, we wanted him to shoot the free throws, and then we were going to foul if we had to.
Okay, we'll go Zach, then Len, then Owen.
Jason, Zach Schoenbrunn with the New York Times. How happy were you with Blatch's play in the first half, especially in the way that he, responded from the tough way that things ended for him in Game 5?
You know, I thought Dre was great. You know, defensively, blocking shots, taking charges. You know, he was there. He was very active, and he was active offensively too. So we're going to need that same performance from him in Game 7.
Len Robbins, BrooklynNets.com. Jason, when you played, you said you always wanted to appear calm to your teammates so they would feel a sense of confidence. You've seemed very relaxed these last 36 hours. Did you want to sort of send a message to your guys that you believed in them, you felt it was still in hand?
Yeah, I believe in those guys since October. I told them that day one. Again, I said it before the game. You know, there's no pressure. It's just a challenge. You know, we enjoy as professional athletes the challenge of you know, trying to do something that people don't believe we can do. And tonight, those guys believe that they can win the game at home. And now we got to find a way to win Game 7.
Last question.
Owen Young, ESPN New York. You're now forced to Game 7. This will be the first time you'll coach in a Game 7. How do you like your odds going in with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, guys that have been through these Game 7s, and then Joe and Deron also looking for redemption for Game 7 last year?
Well, it's a first for everything for me. So first playoffs, first Game 1, first Game 2, and we can go on and on. So first Game 7 is just like Game 1. It's just a game, and the challenge is to find a way to win on the road. Bottom line.
Okay, thank you.
Team start this game coming up Wednesday. That was probably almost as bad as the fourth quarter on Wednesday that we started this one.
It was. We started the game out in the opposite disposition that we wanted to. I thought they came out in a desperate mode. We didn't. They did what they were supposed to do, and we didn't start to play that way until we got knocked down in the second half. And you know, that's what the playoffs is about. You got your start, probably tells you how you're going to finish. And tonight they got their foot on the pedal a lot quicker than we did.
Coach Sean Schumann, NBA.com. I mean, early in the series, I think you said that there's no momentum in a playoff series, that every game was its own, but
It still is. Tonight's is no different. The next game will be something totally different, John. I think if you look at the series the way it's gone, it's been like a roller coaster the whole time. Every game has been different. Tonight's game was different. You take away the first quarter, and it's what, 64-63. The way we started the game, I mean, it was the way we ended the game last time. You're trying to say the momentum carried over from last game.
I don't know about it. I think maybe they just picked up some confidence, or just some.
They may have. That's fine. I mean, but I still say the years I've been in it, every game is different. I think Sunday's game will be different. It'll be something else we're sitting there talking about. So
Did they get you on your heels as far as pushing the ball in transition a little
They
bit?
did. They played faster. They got up and down the floor. Didn't go as many post-ups with Joe Johnson as far as the way they did last time. Again, they got us on our heels early. The rest of the game was at their typical pace. They did a good job of establishing the way they wanted to play early, and we didn't respond. I think first half they had 16 buckets at the rim. Of the 23 buckets were at the rim. That tells me we weren't defending on the perimeter and wasn't protecting the rim. So that was a story in itself, John.
Dwayne Ian Bagley, ESPN New York. What did you make of what you got from Kyle tonight?
Well, it was one of those things. They've been picking out who they wanted to double team between Kyle and DeMar. I thought they did a good job tonight of taking him out. We've got to do a better job of quick passing and find him on the weak side. They did what they were supposed to do. They really did a good job of taking him out, and we've got to do a better job of moving him around where they can't find him on the weak side, where their defense is, a little bit lighter. When he's on the strong side, he's so ball dominant that they did a good job of trapping him, blitzing him, and getting him out of his rhythm.
Dwayne, on that same thing, Michael Grangeman's Toronto Star, certainly the first quarter, I don't think you guys put two good possessions together in a row on offense. What plays were you not making?
We were holding the ball a little bit too long, Michael. Coming out of the pick and rolls, whether it was Kyle or DeMar, maybe one dribble too long, and Garnett's so long, and Pierce is so long in their pick and rolls, and it's not really a hard trap, it's a long, what we call a corral trap, and we've got to make sure we get off the ball, and we did a much better job the second half, and we did a better job of scoring. But most of all, defensively is where our problems were. We let our offensive problems carry over to the defensive end. And, they got what they wanted. They did what they wanted to do on the defensive end in the first quarter. And it's established the way they want to play.
Ryan Wolstadt, Toronto Sun. Dwayne, how do you prepare a young group for the Game 7, knowing you're going up against guys that have been there?
Well, to listen to some of this, we might as well not play Game 7. Every game is different. If we could have done this after Game 1, but every game is different, and I know our team will bounce back. We got to end the game. If he's talking about momentum, I thought our momentum was going down in the second half, but we've got to come out of the gates a lot fresher, a lot harder on both, especially starting on the defensive end of the floor. Ryan.
Dwayne, you won the back here. Mike Anner, Toronto Sun. You won the battle of the boards pretty much the whole series, and tonight it went the other way for the first time, really. What does that tell you about your team tonight?
Well, one, I thought they were getting to our paint so easily. They broke us down. Last game I think they had 10 offensive boards. Tonight they had 9. So that tells me they're getting to the paint, causing a chain reaction where we got to help. And now our big guys are coming over and helping, and now breaking us down on the weak side, they get in the offensive board. That's part of the problem. But again, rebounding, 50-50 balls, transition defense, guarding the perimeter, having bigs at the rim, all of those things are defensive focus, a lack of defensive focus. And that's where it all started. And just all overall toughness, I thought they set the tone the first quarter. I thought we picked it up after halftime, but it's too late. You dig yourself too big of a hole. And so now the next game, we know what to expect starting the first quarter, and should have known it tonight.
Dwayne, Andy Roth Sports Network. Plumlee didn't play tonight. How is it defensively different if Blatch and Garnett are out there as opposed to Plumlee?
Well, again, Garnett is a Hall of Famer. He everybody talks about how old he is and all this stuff. He's still a Hall of Fame player. He knows how to play. He knows every trick in the book. Blatch is a one-on-one nightmare for our bigs. So, they've got a good combination, and they've got some, a lot of weapons to look at. I just don't, they were part of the problem, but the bigger part of the problem is keeping Joe Johnson under control, Darren Williams under control, and one-on-one, breaking us down, getting to the rim. Now, they're the benefactors of our perimeter defense being broken down. So we've got to go back to square one, start back from basics, and look at our overall defensive approach and get that under control.
Michael?
Did you have any inkling what you were going to get from your team tonight, going into an
I was
elimination
concerned
game?
about what happened tonight. Any game 6 is a team is going to come out with a desperate mindset with this team they built to win the championship this year, and they're going to come out and give you the best shot. They're going to come out and give you their best shot. Knew that coming in and tried to warn our team, but again, guys who haven't been in game 6 before, it's one of the toughest things to do. But again, experience is the best teacher, and so now we're going to game 7. It's our first time that luckily we have it at home.
Any other questions? Madam Guy.
Matthew Schneider with TSN. Coach, I'm sure I know what the answer is going to be, but what did you think about some of the calls tonight, particularly in light of...
comment. I have no comment about officiating. Tonight's game had nothing to do with officiating. Nothing. I mean, you know, we got to take care of business ourselves.
Thank you.
Whatever experienced a closeout game or a possible closeout game, how do you think you reacted to it, and what do you think you'll take away going into another one?
We didn't really realize, we had Brooklyn against the wall, and we didn't take advantage of it like we should. We should have known they was going to come out throwing haymakers, and we wasn't ready for it until the second half.
You learned from this movement to Sunday?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because now we know it's win or go home. Everything's on the line now. Either we step up and we got to play with a force from the jump ball to the end of the game, or we be going home the next day.
DeMar, it seemed like after Deron went down with the ankle injury, his penetrating really stopped, and you were able to cut into the lead. How does the Nets offense change, and the way you have to defend them when Williams is not going to the hoop as much?
He's a hell of a point guard to slow down. He's great at rejecting screens, using screens. With his crossover, getting into the lane, making us collapse on the defensive end, and we got to close out the shooters. We just got to keep him under control so we won't get caught in rotations.
DeMar, in that first quarter, they got, I think Dwayne said the first half, like 19 baskets right at the rim.
Yeah.
What were they able to exploit to get such good penetration so easily?
We was running them off, and we was doing a good job running them off three-point line, but we got to step in there and be ready for verticals with the bigs, or be ready to take charges once they get inside, and we got to understand that. I think today we kind of shied away from it every time they went to the basket.
Coach said before when he came out that the Nets did a good job of shutting down Kyle today, and you guys have to do a better job of kind of moving him around and getting him some openings. Would you kind of agree or feel that we got to get him more involved for Game 7?
Yeah, but he's still going to be involved. He missed a lot of easy shots. They did a great job contesting them. And we knew they was going to come out and try to keep the ball out of his hands, especially from the game we had last time. So, we just regroup, look at film tomorrow, look at ways we can get easier shots for him, and get him back going.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet. DeMar, is there any way, as good as this season's been for this team, is there any way it can be a good season if you don't get out of this round?
I mean, for us personally, that's our whole goal, is to get out this, this round. We've been fighting. It's been a hell of a series, and we understand what this game has at stake. But on the outside, I think everybody want to say we had a great season, but we're not satisfied with that at all.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Deron, does your aggressiveness start in the backcourt as far as pushing the ball, getting the ball and trying to get it up the floor quickly? Is that maybe start? Is that?
I think so. I think I like to play up-tempo style basketball, and so when we can get the ball out, we can get some stops and get the ball out in transition. Definitely think it suits my style of play, but I think it helps our offense where they can't set up their defense, and we move the ball really well.
Back.
Deron, Stephanie Stepp with Harlem Community Radio. Can you tell us what happened at the top of the third quarter when you came down and they helped you up and then you walked it off? Can you, if you've already said it before, I apologize for asking.
That's my second question. I just twisted my ankle. I was coming down, going to the basket. I don't know if I stepped on somebody's foot or not. I haven't seen the play. I just rolled my ankle.
Brian?
And Darren, Brian Boney, Associated Press, just to pick up on that, looked like Kevin Garnett kind of waved for guys to come help you off. Did you say you were hurt, or did he just kind of think you were hurt?
I think you could tell by my reaction. I got it pretty good, but I just wanted to stay in there. I was able to walk it off. And I think that's the best thing. If I would have went and sat down and went to the back, it's hard to come back out after that.
Bondi.
Darren, Stephen Bondy from the Daily News. You've obviously heard your ankle before. Do you have a feeling of how it might feel, how bad it was, and how you might feel in Game 7?
Hopefully, I'm going to get a lot of treatment, between now and the game, and I should be ready to go.
Hello, Paul on the Battelle Sirius XM NBA Radio. Now, this is a question actually for Paul and Darren. Going into Game 7, you both have a lot of experience in that situation. How excited are you guys to have that advantage over the younger Raptors?
It's going to be fun. This is what the NBA is all about. These pressure-type moments. These are the type of games that elevate the good players to great players. And, we have so many of them coming up this weekend. It's an exciting time, and we're going to enjoy it. We go into a hostile environment, win or go home. Hey, this is the type of situation where I love, and I love to be in, and I love our chances.
Darren, Mike Mazzio from ESPNNewYork.com, over here. How much do you look at this Game 7 as a chance for redemption after what happened against Chicago last season?
It's a similar situation. We're on the road, but it is a Game 7. We definitely remember that game. But like I said, this is a new team. I've said it many times. This is a new team, and this is a new season. And, we're excited about this opportunity. I've been on a team that's won a Game 7 on the road before, so it can be done. But it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of grit, and we got to be ready to go in, like Paul said, into a hostile environment.
Paul, Andrew Kay with the New York Times. DeMar DeRozan was just up here talking about you guys coming out throwing haymakers. What was the attitude of the team coming out of the gate, and how important was it to get that early big start?
Just very aggressive. We came out, established our defensive tone, offensive tone. We pushed the ball. I think just the tempo the whole night was great for us. The way we rebounded, we won the rebound war tonight. We got the ball up court, got easy opportunities in transition. And then when we got in the half court, we made the extra pass. It was very unselfish basketball. When you look, and we had like 4 or 5 guys in double figures. Allen Anderson getting the start tonight, came in and gave us big minutes. Not only with his scoring, with his rebounding, with his defense. That's just show you the professionalism of guys who are ready to step in at any given moment and come through. And tonight was a great team win, led by Deron. He really set the tone, I thought, on both ends of the court. He really got up in the Lowry, made him drive. He went back at him on offense, and I think it just opened up things for everybody. Him and Joe Johnson. Joe, the numbers don't really say how great he played tonight, but he was phenomenal. He got doubled all night, and we fed off of that. I was the recipient, Kevin, Double A, Allen Anderson. We were all recipient of their action tonight.
Paul, Darren, Devin Carpetti from the Brooklyn Game. You guys talked a lot about aggression after Game 6. You talked about it now. Is it something where you guys just kind of flip a switch and you change the game, or is it something schematic that you guys changed to become more aggressive tonight?
Well, I know myself, I needed to be more aggressive after the last 2 losses. In the 3 games we won, I've been really aggressive, getting into the paint, making things happen, not only screening the ball, but making the extra pass. And so I know that's what my team needs me to do, and so I kind of wanted to come out early and establish that, and hopefully continue to do that. Hopefully it doesn't have to be a switch. Hopefully it's just something you can consistently do.
Last question.
Darren, talk about the inside presence. John McLeod from the New York Times. Talk about the inside presence that you guys had today. You were very aggressive. Guys like Andre Blatch, who were aggressive on the boards and rebounding. Talk about how much of a presence was it, and what is needed in Game 7.
Well, I definitely think our inside presence is huge, offensively and defensively. I think offensively, like you said, we went to Dre a lot. We go to Joe a lot in the post. And then defensively, we have to rebound against this team. They are a bigger, more athletic team. And, we have to do a good job of keeping them off the board, offensive boards, and I think we did a better job of that tonight.
Okay, thank you.